How? Hounds of Heaven. Welcome into the David L. Gray Show, off code Unscripted on St. Dominic's Media. You know, I tried for like 2 days to walk away from this show. 2 whole days. I didn't even do a stream yesterday because I kind of knew that if I got going and you guys were going to start asking questions, I knew I was going to say something. I was going to pop off. But, you know, I tried to walk away. Why did I try to walk away? Because my concerns don't have to be your concerns. They don't. The things, my conscience is not your conscience. I know that Donald Trump is going to win this election in 2024. He's going to become the president for the 3rd time. He's going to win a 3rd election to become president as long as they count the legal votes, right? So my little vote, if I were going to vote in Illinois, if Trump gets to the point where he needs Illinois, something's wrong, right? And the state always goes blue. So it doesn't even matter. My concerns don't have to be your concerns. But here's the thing. You know, after the assassination attempt against Donald Trump, which is really just an ongoing coup attempt that has been going on, ongoing coup d'etat that has been going on since he was president the first time. From Russia to the impeachments, to the lawfare, to, listen, if you can't beat him, imprison him. If you can't imprison him, assassinate him. That's just all this thing is, an ongoing coup d'etat. But I posted, you know, a little post about it on my Facebook page and said, hey, I'm not going to vote for the guy, but we shouldn't be trying to kill people. Donald Trump is, you know, important to our country. And everyone just kind of keyed on it. Hey, David Gray's not going to vote in the election. I haven't voted since 2020 for a couple of reasons I'll disclose later on in the show. And ever since I posted that, people on my Facebook feed have been trying to shame me, insult me, coerce me, calling me a bad Catholic. Oh, David Gray, your conscience isn't formed correctly. You're not a Catholic. People like our friend Frank Pavone came on there and said, hey, David, just close your nose and vote. We have to team up. We have to all do the same thing here. For 2 days, I try to walk away from this because my concerns don't have to be your concerns on this matter. But then today I'm posting things in my Facebook feed, again on Facebook. And people are still issuing the same comments on posts that don't even have to do with the election. Just continually just coming at me. And I don't understand why. I don't understand like why that the fact that I'm not voting and that I don't vote, why is it triggering you in such a way? Why is it triggering you in this way that you have to keep coming after me, trying to coerce me, insult me, shame me? So I say, you know what? I'm going to put these dogs down. I'm going to go off code, unscripted. I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. The part that I was trying to walk away from. Because no other Catholic media outfit is going to say this. It's simply something I would do. I try to be that guy on social media, that guy on YouTube who's honest with you. Who says the things that aren't supposed to be said. Because everyone else out here in Catholic social media, all they're doing is telling you what you want to hear. They're all fake. They're all in it for the clicks. Nobody's honest with you. So this is usually what I would do anyway. But I try to walk away from it. Because I know how people's emotions are, right? But not anymore. You guys keep coming at me. So I'm going in. So that's what today's show is about. This GOP ticket with Trump and Vance, which I find to be the most anti-life ticket in the history of the Republican Party. The most anti-life ticket. One of the most anti-life tickets we've seen in our entire lifetime. It is a pro-abortion ticket. Not only is it the most pro-abortion ticket that the Republican Party has ever had, it's one of the most pro-abortion tickets that there's ever been in the history of this country since Roe versus Wade, Doe versus Bolton in 1972, 1973. I don't know what happened to the Republican Party. I don't know what happened. Now we have a nominee as for president, Donald Trump, and his running mate, J.D. Vance, for vice president. Both of these men support abortion, child sacrifice. They call it term limits. Oh, yeah, you can kill your child after 6 weeks. We're okay with that. Both of them are all in for the abortion pill. All in for the abortion pill. Oh, yeah, you can kill your baby by just swallowing this pill. Kill your baby, child sacrifice that way. We're good with that. They're both all in for in vitro fertilization. Oh, yeah. Kill as many fertilized eggs as you want to. We're fine with that. I don't know what happened to the GOP. Of course, they're all in for the death penalty, which is anti-Catholic. These guys are not pro-life. I don't know what happened to the GOP. And the J.D. Vance guy, a fellow Ohioan, he calls himself a Catholic convert, but has yet to make a full conversion on a life issue. I don't know what happened to the GOP. After a convention, they had this woman who's an avowed Satanist. She calls herself a Satanist who's pro-abortion, pro-gay marriage. She's speaking in prime time at the Republican National Convention. Amber Rose.
Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician and I don't want to be, but I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. I know this because for a long time I believed those lies. So I'm here to set the record straight.
This is today's Republican Party. This is the GOP. I find this amazingly disgusting. What happened? This ticket with Trump and J.D. Vance in the positions they have openly taken against life, from abortion, child sacrifice after 6 weeks, the abortion pill, in vitro fertilization, the death penalty, is the most anti-Catholic, anti-life ticket in the history of the GOP. And as I said, it's even more anti-life than what the Democrats has given us. Let me run down some things to you. Let me tell you how this ticket compares to some of the tickets that the Democrats have given us since 1973. Trump Vance is more anti-Catholic and anti-life than Gore Lieberman. Gore Lieberman was just saying, safe, legal, and rare. That's what they were saying. They weren't saying anything about the abortion pill, in vitro fertilization, nothing like that. Okay, maybe those technologies weren't available at that time, but that's besides the point. That these guys have advanced. Trump and Vance they've kept up, I guess, with methods of child sacrifice, and now they're more anti-life than Gore Clinton in 1992, 1996. Again, Clinton was just saying, this is a choice that a woman has to make between God and her doctor. Trump Vance aren't even saying that. They're saying, take the pill, kill your child. This ticket with Trump and Vance, they're more anti-life than Dukakis and Lloyd Benson in 1998. Remember, Dukakis was saying something weird. He said, I'm pro-choice. My opponent is multiple choice. We still don't know what that means when he said that. I'm pro-choice, but my opponent, Bush, is multi-choice. What was that? Well, what we do know is not kill as many eggs in the vitro fertilization as you can. Take the abortion pill, kill your child after just 6 weeks. It's not that. This ticket is more anti-life than Mondale and Fiaro. It's more anti-life than Carter Mondale in 76 and 80. This is what the Republicans have given us. Amber Rose and abortion. This is the David L. Gray Show. Off Code, Unscripted, St. Dominic's Media. I don't even know how we got here. Let me do a couple quick updates real quick, and I continue to get into this trash ticket the Republicans have gotten us. And I'm going to tell you how we got here, because it's important as we look back, because we have to figure out, how did we get to this point where Amber Rose, a Satanist, pro-abortion, pro-gay marriage, is speaking to us at the Republican convention? We have to do some math here and just look back and say, how do we get to this point? And we have to say, how do we get this ticket that's anti-life? But let me first bring up a couple things that I'm sure you're already aware of, but let me remind you what's going on at St. Dominic's Media this week. Tomorrow, make sure that you check in, that you get registered for a visiting lecture that we're having over at St. Dominic's Media. One of our visiting professors coming in is Deacon Gerard Marie Anthony. He is a phenomenal deacon. He is a dynamic deacon. He is one of the most powerful, eloquent, wonderful, insightful speakers that you'll ever hear. We're blessed to have him over at St. Dominic's Media for our visiting lecture series. He'll be speaking about the Sacred Heart, how to relate. He'll be talking the devotions of Sacred Heart and Divine Mercy. He's going to bring those two things together. He's going to show you how they can change your life and how you can heal some of the brokenness that's going on in your life. So it's going to be a powerful lesson over at stdominicsmedia.com. So hop over there, get registered for the course. It's going to be live streamed on YouTube only for our members here at YouTube. But you can watch the course for free for now over at St. Dominic's Media. All you have to do is register. And again, that's at St. Dominic's Media. Also, let me hit this plug. You got to get your merch from St. Dominic's Media. We got some new merch. One of our friends here, one of our writers actually over St. Dominic's Media, John Paul, he has the Rigid Catholic shorts, and you can see him, he's wearing them on one of his runs. He has a channel called Abide the Fire. Abide the Fire. He has a phenomenal channel where he just talks about different aspects of the faith. So check him out at Abide the Fire. But this is him wearing some of the merch. So right now it's 20% off. Just hop over to St. Dominic's Media again, or here on YouTube, just click the merch button, check out everything we have, and get the merch. So how do we get here? How did we get here where Amber Rose, best known for the slut walk, somebody who has a tattoo on her forehead, how is she giving us advice? And how did we get to this point where the GOP has given us the most anti-life ticket in the history of American politics? All right. Well, this is how it happened. Somehow Catholics have become black liberal women. Yeah. Somehow Catholics have become black liberal women, the kind that you find in the cities, all the cities in the United States, the ones who keep the Democrats in power. You know, when Roe Wade was still a law, you know what it had done? When Roe versus Wade was still the law of the land, what it done was that it gave Republicans cover. That's what it did. It gave them cover. It gave them something to hide behind, because they couldn't change the law. Right? No, they said they couldn't change the law. It's the law of the land. It's in the hands of the Supreme Court. And so while Roe versus Wade was the law of the land, all you Catholics ever did was you had told the Republicans, well, we know you can't change the law, but could you tell us something pro-life? Could you tell us something to let us know that you're on our side? That's all we asked for for these politicians just to speak pro-life, but don't do anything about it. Just speak, don't do. That's all we asked. That's how we became black liberal women who all they do is vote Democrat. And Democrats don't have to do anything for them. Black liberal women have been voting for Democrats for over 80 years just because they're loyal. The black liberal woman is more loyal to the Democrats than she is to her own husband. And that's who Catholics have become. Just loyal to the Republican Party for no reason whatsoever, just because they tell you that they're pro-life. And remember when they used to be pro-marriage as well. But that's all you ask for. Just speak to us. Say something pro-life. We know you can't change the law. Just speak to us pro-life. And that's all we got. We got all talk, no action. Roe Wade was just giving the Republicans cover. But once the whole gay marriage thing sort of imploded, that became the law of the land. And we saw how quickly the Republicans just gave into it. The next day, these guys are here marrying so-called gay couples themselves, presiding over ceremonies. They went real quiet, real soft on the issue, took it off their party platform. Just as today in 2024, they took abortion off their platform. Right, but back then, after gay marriage became the law of the land, you had a feeling, right? We had a feeling that these Republicans aren't really people of standards and people of conviction and people of values. Right? So we should have known after Roe versus Wade was overturned that they would fold like a house of cards on abortion, just as they had fallen like a house of cards on gay marriage. And they did. The day after Roe versus Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, Republicans were on Fox News talking about, well, now that abortion is in the hands of the states now, can states now set term limits? Can they still allow women to still be able to get abortion up to immediately after Roe versus Wade was overturned? Republicans are asking for term limits. They weren't even saying no abortion. They were saying, well, up to 6 weeks, up to 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. Please let us know when we can sacrifice our child. On my Facebook page, I keep seeing you Catholics talking about that giving Trump credit for overturning Roe versus Wade. As if that was a good thing. It's bad for Republicans. They no longer have something to hide behind. They immediately capitulated. And I'm not convinced that Roe versus Wade was actually a good thing getting it overturned. I don't know. Because the country was not ready. Yes, the law was changed, but we did not change one heart. Life, see, I think Americans, we're kind of screwed up when it comes to the whole life issue. For Americans, we've been convinced by the political establishment that life is a political issue. That's what they told us. We've been convinced. We've been brainwashed. We've been hoodwinked. We've been bamboozled, led astray, run amok. We've accepted this lie. This lie. Like I always tell you guys, you don't have to worry about other people lying to you. What you have to watch is the lies you tell yourself. And we've told ourselves this lie because we've been brainwashed to believe it. That life is a political issue. That we can all change how people think about life by voting a certain way, by passing a certain law. Life is not a political issue, my friends. Life is a moral issue. It's an issue of the heart. It's an issue of truth. It's an issue of Jesus Christ, who is the life. If you want to understand life, you have to understand Christ Jesus, because he is the life, the way, the truth. He was sent into this world by his Father to give us life everlasting. His whole ministry was about life, 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 life. Even when they tried to give him death, he spit on the cross, the instrument of death, the death penalty they gave him. He spit on it, mocked it, laughed at it, came back in 3 days. Ha ha, I'm back. Everyone, eternal life, you have it. Just believe in me. Life is not a political issue. It's a moral issue. It's a divine issue. And so when Roe versus Wade was overturned, every state, I would say maybe the next 7 to 10 years, their constitution is going to be amended to become favorable for child sacrifice. Every state in the union. It happened in Ohio. It happened in other places. These constitutional amendments is going to happen in every state in the union. Why? Because life is not a political issue. It's a moral issue. And that's going to be, all these state constitutions are going to be amended to allow for child sacrifice. Why? Because Donald Trump and his Supreme Court appointments. Of course, I think the idea was good. All right. But it wasn't the right time. America is just far too demonic to make a decision about life. These Americans, at least 50% of them are just flatly just evil people who will kill a baby in a heartbeat. And you put that decision in the hands of these people, it wasn't the right time for Roe versus Wade. All right. Now, if you want to talk to me about amending the United States Constitution to affirm the fact that babies in the womb are persons, okay, now you have my ear, right? But then you're probably talking about a civil war. But so now it's 2024. And Trump, Vance, the Republican ticket that he gave us, that you gave us because you didn't ask anything, because, you know, you're black liberal women, basically, and you didn't ask anything from the Republicans. You never asked them, hey, earn our vote. Actually do something about life, or we're not going to vote for you. We're going to have you lose elections until you become truly pro-life. It's 2024 now. Trump, Vance are the nominees. The child sacrifice party, there's 2 of them now. It's really a uniparty. It's all for child sacrifice. And what do you Catholics do, my brothers and sisters? Again, do you say, oh, we're not going to vote for you? Do you say that? We're not going to vote for you until you put the anti-abortion or pro-life back on your GOP platform. Did you even say that when you saw the new Republican platform? Did you say, no, we do not accept that? Did you say that? No, because you're black liberal women. Did you say, we're going to let you lose this election if you don't change your positions on life, if you don't drop the exceptions? And both Trump and Vance, they're for exceptions as well. I forgot that one. They're for murder, rape, and incest. This is the most pro-abortion ticket I've ever seen, especially with Republicans. But did you say, if you don't drop that exception crap, if you don't drop that term limit crap, if you don't drop that in vitro fertilization abortion pill crap, we're not going to vote for you. We're going to let you lose this election? Did you say that? No, you didn't, because you're black liberal women who vote for Democrats no matter what. No questions asked. You're easy. You're soft. You're like street whores, the ones that charge $5 for a blowjob. You're that easy. You're that easy. At least black liberal women, they get something in return. They say, oh yeah, you know, we'll vote for you no matter what, but please, could you give us someone who looks like us? Could you give us some sort of representation, some sort of DIE or DEI, whatever it is? Sure. Republicans say, sure. Well, Democrats say, sure, we can do that. We'll give you a half black president. We'll give you a woman who identifies as black, Kamala Harris. We'll give you Ketanji Jackson, Brown Jackson, right? We'll give you Corinne Jean-Pierre, right? Let's see, we have a lesbian, we have a woman who's like Indian, married to a Jew, kind of black, and we have Ketanji also married to a white man. None of these women actually are identified as culturally black, but sure, we'll give those to you, right? At least black liberal women ask for that. You Catholics don't ask for anything from Republicans. You don't. You just let them just walk over you. Just screw you over year after year. And this is going to keep happening every 4 years. You're going to be just like black liberal women and vote for the same party over and over again just because they speak to speak. But they don't even speak to speak anymore. They disrespect you so much that Trump, who's already pro-death, he goes and finds someone who's just like him. Someone's just like him. Also pro-death. Spits in your face because he's a Catholic. He goes and finds a cafeteria Catholic. A little less cafeteria than Joe Biden, but a cafeteria Catholic nonetheless, and he gives him to you. That's how much he disrespects you. That's how much your vote doesn't even, that's how much he knows that you're going to vote for him no matter what. He has his running mate, a fake cafeteria Catholic, disrespects you, and you're still going to vote for him. You're black liberal women. Black liberal women. The Democrats give black liberal women these fake black women. That's not even like them. And it gives you this fake Catholic. That's nothing like you. You're black liberal women. That's how you got into the position that you are now. You know, you're like the guy who comes to the car lot. Comes to buy a car. And you know, you're haggling with the sales guy, and the sales guy can't figure out what the heck is going on because you don't know how to negotiate. You're asking him, hey, can I pay more for this car that I don't want? That's you. That's you. So that's how you got here. Trump and Vance don't have to be pro-life. They don't have to fight for the Catholic vote because you just give it away. You're cheap. You're street prostitutes. You don't cost anything. So the GOP now is the pro-death party, which is an amazing turnabout. We're talking about the party that freed, that fought against slavery. We're talking about a true party of freedom, but now they're the party who are trying to trap women into the slavery of child sacrifice with these abortion term limits, these exceptions, these abortion pills, and veto fertilization. What happened to the GOP? This is not the grand old party. It's not even the gay old party anymore. This is just the garbage old party. That's what it is. This is a David L. Gray show. Off Code, Unscripted, St. Dominic's Media. Like I said, you don't have to be me. And I don't want you to be me, right? We all have our own moral conscience. I would like you not to be black liberal women. I like you to eventually have some standards and hold other people to standards. That would be nice. Because I tell you, if you don't have standards, you know what happens? And let me be honest with you, and you know this. If you can somehow justify in your mind, if you can somehow tell yourself this lie, which is the worst of all lies, that somehow it's okay to kill a child in a womb through surgical abortion, chemical abortion, a hanger, if you can somehow convince yourself that you're capable of anything, I don't trust you. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. And I can throw you pretty far. So I would like you to have some standards. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't go vote. for this pro-death ticket, because I understand the uniparty. I understand, America, there's, it's funny that people think that, how you become president or how you win elections is by, voting. Right. But did you know that voting is actually like on the bottom of the list of things that actually determine who becomes president of the United States? Did you know that? Voting is way on the bottom of the list of the things that really influence elections. Did you know that? Let me run through some other ones. The most powerful thing, the most influential thing you can do to determine who becomes president is that you can tell Americans that they have two choices. This two-party system. So even before you vote, this system that you're in has told you that you only have two options. Sure, you can vote for someone else. You can write your name in or something like that. But none of those other options have the potential to win, right? Because of ballot access and other things. So that's the most powerful thing on the table that determines who becomes president. The choices that they give you, which are only two. All right. After that, campaign contributions to political action committees. That determines a great deal who becomes president. The third one is campaign contributions to the national committees. That has a great amount of influence. Number four, sometimes I'll put number four, number two. Number four is a Secretary of State, because the Secretary of State determines election laws. They're the ones who will say, well, we're going to have ballot box, drop box, or you can vote from home. You don't have to show ID. All these things, all of these interpretation of state laws, the Secretary of State, far more influential than ballots, because they determine whether they're going to count your ballots or not. After the Secretary of State is the Board of Elections in battleground states. These people on the ground in the different counties, they're the ones that actually move the ballots, count the ballots, and all this. All right. And also determine local laws. Number six, ballot harvesting. In some states, there's like 3 to 5 illegal ballots to your one. Ballot harvesting, far more powerful than actually voting. Illegal or inaccurately tabulated ballots. When ballots come into the county thing, they can set the acceptance tolerance in the ballot machine, right? So if it's set high, almost nothing's getting through. That's how elections used to be. We need a signature that matches what's on the card. We need a clearly indicated marked ballot. But you can also set the tolerance very low that everything gets through. That's 2020. That's more powerful than your vote. The Google search algorithms, more powerful than your vote. Mainstream news media, election influence, or election interference, more powerful than your vote. Foreign government election interference, more powerful than your vote. Now at 12, we're finally to the point where the legal ballots only in battleground states, right? That counts more than your vote, right? And then finally, of course, there was electoral college. Your vote doesn't really even have to count. Electors can sort of change how you voted. All right. So, the idea, right, as Biden says, the idea, look, the idea that the ballot box is a sacrament, I find to be completely silly. But that's where I was. That's where I was, I think, most of my life. I think ever since I got the so-called right to vote when I was 18. And I think, but if you're somewhere else and you're saying, hey, I understand the other guy, and even though my vote, the ballot booth, that's really the best I can do, I'm going to go vote. I live in a battleground states. Maybe what I can do can make a difference. Listen, fine. But all I'm asking is for you to pray for Trump and Vance conversion. You have to. Right? You don't put a person in a position to sin and then just walk away from them, because Trump and Vance told you they're going to sin. They told you that they're going to legislate anti-life. These military bases where I'm at, and I go into the BX or the PX in some of these places, and I go down to the aisle that has the condoms, and I see the abortion box pill on all these military bases. Trump isn't going to take the abortion pill off those shelves on military bases. Vance isn't. They have the power to, but they told you, or all the abortions that can happen on military bases. They've told you that they're going to sin. They have the power to stop a lot of abortions. They have the power to stop the abortion pill, but they told you that they're going to sin. They're going to allow this. They're going to kill babies. They're going to commit child sacrifice by things that they're going to do and the things that they're going to fail to do. They've told you that. And if you still vote for them because of, the reasons that you've told yourself, fine. All I'm saying is you have to pray for them unceasingly. You don't walk away from a person who you know is going to sin and let them sin. You may have limited power to maybe change what they're going to do, but you have to pray for them. You have to witness to them. You have to minister to them. You have to have some damn standards about yourself and draw some lines. It's like my friend Don came to me, said, "Hey, David, can I borrow your gun?" Oh, yes, yeah, cool. Let me go get it. Oh, what are you going to use it for? Oh, yeah. I'm just going to go pop my wife, shoot her in the head real quick. Oh, you know what? Let's pray about this. Right? I'm not going to go give him my gun for him to go shoot. I like his wife, actually. I would miss her. I'm not going to give him my gun. So I know he's going to sin. Why would I why would I put him in a position to keep sinning? So you have to pray for Trump if that's your vote. This is David L. Gray off Code Unscripted. I didn't become pro-life until I read a catechism in the Catholic Church. Back when I was a Democrat, voting for Democrats just because it's a cultural thing to do, I think I was pro-life for a while, until I got the wrong person pregnant. Right? Back in my sinning days before Christ. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's your choice. Right. All right. I ended up paying for like maybe 3 or 4 abortions. Right. Bad guy. A lot of blood on my hands. But I didn't become pro-life until I read the Catechism of the Catholic Church. So I'm reading the Catechism of the Catholic Church because I'm trying to figure out where the Catholic Church is wrong. This is my conversion process. And then I'm reading it and I saw how my first time really understanding this, seeing it articulated so beautifully that life is sacred. Life is beautiful. And life is sacred not because we call it sacred. It's sacred because, God created it. He's the author of the sacred. And because God authored life, which is sacred, that sacredness can never be lost. It can never be taken away. It can never be stolen because it doesn't come from us. It comes from God. And then when I realized that, and then I started reading the Bible and I encountered this Jesus who is all about life, I became pro-life. And not just anti-abortion. I became pro-life. Against truly from the womb to the tomb. Natural birth, natural death. That's what I'm for. Any other times when we decide as human beings to say, oh, this life should die or that life should die. This life did that. This life didn't do that. They should die. I'm not on that. That's not godly. So no abortion, no euthanasia, no war, no death penalty. I'm pro-life because I read the catechism. But even with that, I still believed in the American indoctrination, right? That you have to vote. And you remember those videos, rock the vote, vote like your life depends on it.
We will.
We will.
We will.
We will.
We will.
We will.
We will be counted.
We will matter.
We will stand our ground.
We will be brave.
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 Voting is a matter of life and death. Right now, politicians around the nation are passing laws to kill your vote, but you can stop them. Check the laws in your voting district. Your job, health, and family depend on you voting. Vote like your life.
Yeah, because every election they tell us is the most consequential. You gotta vote. You gotta go. When did voting become a sacrament? It's frankly weird, but I kept going along with it because I'm American. I'm indoctrinated into the system. This has been preached to me ever since I was a kid. You have to go vote. It's a sacrament, right? So I don't even trust Mormons. Mormons are kind of like, the whole Mormon thing is really, I just don't trust Mormons. I just don't. I don't know how your brain, I think there's some Mormons who I work with that I personally like. Right. But there's a part of me just doesn't trust them because I don't know how you can tell yourself certain lies and not investigate things further. Right. But I was indoctrinated into this you gotta vote thing. So back in 2012, I went to work for Mitt Romney, worked in his campaign, knocking on doors, making the calls, meeting with people. Because he talked about being pro-life. Right? Never did anything. Never. Not Mitt. Never did anything. But he talked about being pro-life. Then after gay marriage became legal and I saw the GOP forwarding, all right, I saw, man, these guys are weak. I still voted for Trump in 2016. Because at least the GOP was still pro-life. Right? That's what I said. Oh man, at least they're pro-life. I mean, they given up on one aspect of life, and to be sure, homosexuality, that's just anti-life. 2 men, 2 women together don't make children. It's still eugenics. That's all it is. But I'm telling myself these stories. Well, at least they're pro-life, anti-abortion. Then Roe versus Wade fell. And I saw the GOP go all in for death. All right. I found out it would be a violation of my conscience, right? For me to vote for someone who I know is going to use their position to sin against Christ and his church. Again, my friend Don, if he came to me, asked for a gun, I wouldn't give it to him if I knew he was going to shoot his wife. Right. So I don't vote for that reason. My judgment day is my judgment day. It's not yours. It's not anyone else's. It's my judgment day. And if my conscience informs me that I'm committing a sin by voting for someone who I know is going to sin, that's on me. You don't have to coerce me, insult me, try to shame me to get me to violate my conscience. So that's the first reason why I don't vote. Never will again. The second reason why I don't vote is I just don't believe, right? You should never do anything you don't believe in. I don't believe in the American form of governance. I think it's kind of, it's outdated. it's just a power grab. That's all it is. I mean, we're not living during the time of horses and buggies anymore. We don't write letters and give them to a guy that's riding a horse. It's 2024. Why are we still using representative government? What is that? This idea that I have to elect someone to go somewhere else to represent me. What is that? Again, I can see that when we had horses. It was hard to travel. We didn't have telephones. We didn't have Zoom. Why do I need to elect someone to represent me? And the fact of the matter is that they don't even do that anymore. Perhaps there was a time when a representative would talk to you, understand your needs, and then go take them to Washington. But that's not the case anymore. The people who we elect to represent us actually represent themselves. So not only is this system completely outdated, but it's entirely corrupt. This whole redistricting thing, creating these districts so people can vote for certain people, that's nothing but a power grab and a money grab. That's what representatives, these congressmen and senators are. They're just representing themselves. They're grabbing power. They're grabbing influence. They're grabbing money. I don't believe in the system as we have it. We have technology to represent ourselves. Sweden, I don't know if you ever did any research about what goes on in Sweden in their form of governance. We like to call this, what we're doing in America, we like to call it, representation, governance of the people by the people. But that's not what it is. This representative government is in most places in the world with parliaments and stuff like that. It's outdated. It has to be done away with. We have to move and to do something new that really represents our needs as people, as citizens. In Sweden, for example, they have a way in which citizens do truly represent themselves. That if you're a citizen of Sweden and you think there should be a law, only thing you have to do is go gather some signatures, get about 10% of the population, and your idea can be put on a ballot. That's how you represent yourself. You don't need someone to represent you in 2024, not with the technology that we have now. So that's true participatory governance, and it's closer to the Catholic idea of subsidiarity. It's closer to where people at the lowest level can solve problems. So the idea of having someone elect the representatives to go represent you somewhere else, that's not really as close as we can get to the Catholic idea of subsidiarity. Sweden is that you can represent yourself and your needs and your family. You can be the representative for your family. So that's another reason why I don't vote. I think the system needs to be broken. And so when people vote for the current system that we have, only thing you do when you vote is you're just a handshake with the system. It's you saying that you have a right to keep going. Your participation in this current system is really just giving the government permission to continue to scheme. It's like a vote of confidence. When you go to the ballot booth, it's just a vote of confidence saying, yeah, we still believe in this system. Let's keep it going. So that's why they're always trying to compel you to keep coming to the ballot booth. They need you to buy into it. They need you to believe in it. Because if you stop believing in it, if you stop giving it your handshake, if you stop giving it your permission to exist, the whole thing will just collapse. And I think it needs to collapse because it doesn't truly represent the needs of the people. It's a power grab and a money grab. That's another reason why I don't vote. What is this? What are we doing here? He's not representing me, or she's not representing me. Why? The system doesn't work anymore. I'm I'm not giving it my handshake anymore. I'm not giving it my permission to exist anymore. It's broken. We need something new. We need something modern. So for those reasons, I completely reject the secular sacrament of voting. I don't believe that it truly changes anything. I don't think it reflects the Great Commission to go baptize and to teach what Jesus said. I think that changes people. I think that changes hearts. And again, a lot of the things that we're trying to change at the ballot booth are moral issues, not legal issues. I got one more thing to say. Now, as far as, my interlocutors on my Facebook page and all of their shaming, their insults, their coercion, to try to get me to violate my conscience. Let me just go over some of the things here that I wrote down about some of the reasons why they say that I just need to get in line and do the thing and go against my conscience. The first one, really this, I think, is grouped along the lines of really just pragmatism. I would also call expediency, right? That they would say, well, we just have to win, right? So even though this is a pro-death ticket, we still have to vote for it because we just have to win. We have to be pragmatic and expedient. Again, I think this is an issue that has to do with standards, just personal standards. Like, do you have any lines in your life? Are there certain things that you won't cross? If you don't have any morals and values, then yeah, of course, you can always be pragmatic. You can always look to expediency. But the fact of the matter, again, is if you don't have standards, you don't have certain lines that you won't cross, one thing will lead to another. The quickest way to sin is to be pragmatic and to be expedient. It's cutting corners. It's not doing the right thing when doing the right thing is hard. When you're being pragmatic, you're being expedient, you don't care about doing the right thing. You just want to do the thing to win. I don't like people like that. I don't. Are you a person of values or not? Yes, I would rather lose and be confident in the truth than win on a lie. Why should I win on a lie? It's fake to me. The other thing that people, a lot of you were saying, you were saying that, well, Donald Trump is a lesser of two evils. And you're saying that, well, I have to vote for the lesser of two evils. David, you got to vote for the lesser of two evils. So what are you telling me? That I have to vote for evil? If there's two evils, I'm voting for evil, right? Is that what we're talking about? I'm voting for evil and the evil is going to do more evil. My brain, I'm too dumb to even comprehend that. People who say that are like, must be way smarter than me because I don't know what the hell that is. The lesser of two evils, wait, is evil, right? I don't get it. One person said, Dave, you just got to hold your nose and go do it. Again, standards, values. If I do that one time, I say, I just hold my nose and go do it. I've given myself permission to go do it another time for something else. I don't want to be that person. I was that person 20 years ago or more years ago, right? Led to some very bad consequences in my life. Not going back down that path. Some people were saying, misquoting Catholic teaching. In paragraph, I think it's 2240 in the Catechism of Catholic Church. It talks about the right to, you have to exercise your right to vote, right? This is just magisterial guidance. It's not a dogma. We know it's not a dogma because it hasn't always been true throughout history. But it is a magisterial guidance. We should believe it. But the paragraph before that one says something about it's your duty to work to the common good. That's our duty. We do have to work to the common good. And that common good may be achieved not by the sacrament of the ballot booth. That's number one. The second thing is the Catholic Church would like to assume that you had read the catechism, everything before you got to that point. And so if you had done that, you would also see that you cannot violate your moral conscience. Never. And so if your moral conscience is telling you not to do something, then you can't do it. Also, that thing of voting, we know that's not a dogma of the church. And I really don't even want to hear people who call themselves traditional Catholics even hear them say that, because that's not a traditional teaching of the church. Because for most of human history, we didn't vote for leaders. Leaders is by blood or inheritance, kings, princes, kings. We didn't vote. This is a nouveau theology. This is new teaching. This is post-Vatican II teaching of using your vote for change. Okay, so don't give me that one. You're misinterpreting church teaching and magisterial guidance, local guidance at that, because even in the places in the world now, people don't vote for their leaders. It's local magisterial guidance. There are some people on my Facebook page tell me, "Oh, David, don't say the quiet part aloud. Like I'm just supposed to be quiet and I say these things because I would discourage people from voting." All right. I get that. Man, that's why I didn't comment on this until now, but you guys kept pushing me. Frank Vaughn came on my page, Facebook page, and told me that I need to get on the same page and we just need to all be one and do this thing together. I don't like the mob mentality, right? I don't go along with mobs. If I see a mob moving in a certain direction, I'm just going to fade away. Mobs usually do the wrong thing, right? So you're telling me to mob up, get in the mob, and we're all going to move in this direction. I'm already out. I don't move with mobs. Never have. I never move with crowds. This is the most important election of our lifetime. Someone said that. Get on the right side of history. Someone said that. I don't even need to respond to those. I just think they're dumb. I'll just say that's dumb. I don't care about being on the right side of history. I want to be on the right side of salvation. I want to be on the right side of my eternal life. I want to be in heaven, not hell. I don't care about secular history. So you can miss me with that one. And then really the one that a lot of people were saying, Biden is worse. Okay. Worse than who? I think even though this is a uniparty, I don't see really a big difference nowadays between Democrats and Republicans. I think it's a uniparty. I don't look at it like that. Biden worse. Clearly, Biden operates like the hand of Satan. Where he used to, when he used to have a brain, he operated like the hand of Satan. I don't know who's running the White House now. Kamala Harris, yes, she campaigns at a Planned Parenthood. It just seems to be that Democrats are open about child sacrifice. Republicans, they're also for child sacrifice, but they want to kind of act like, oh, we're not as bad as Democrats, because Democrats, they'll go up to the 9th month. This is a distinction of scales, but murder is murder. Child sacrifice is child sacrifice. So I don't even look at like Biden, Kamala Harris worse. What are we talking about? We're talking about child sacrifice. So you want to kill it at 9 months. You want to kill it at 6 weeks. So what are we talking about? You're both for the pill. You're both for in vitro fertilization. You're both for, okay, maybe you have the Democrats because you believe in exceptions, but what are we talking about? We're talking about child sacrifice, right? So I don't even look at one as worse than the other. They're both for child sacrifice. So you can also miss me with that one. So, but anyway, like I said, Trump is going to, I really believe he's going to win for the third time if all of the legal ballots are counted. And again, if you vote for Donald Trump, please just pray for his conversion. So because you can't put a person in a position to sin and not do something about it. All right, that's your responsibility. So that's all I have to say about that. Let me get to your comments, and I'm out of here. All right, not a whole lot of comments. You guys just heard me listen to me ramble for a whole hour, so I hope it was good. My friend Dominic says at least one Catholic media group is seeing the issues. I appreciate that. We try to not preach to the choir and say everything that they want to hear all the time. Although it's important for the choir to be affirmed in their beliefs, but at the same time, you know, we do live in a world, in a social media space, where it's just for the clicks. People just want to say things to get money, get subs. They don't want to say the challenging things, the hard things, right? Because it may cost them something. But when you have nothing to lose other than your salvation, what are you afraid of, right? That's our idea. We're Dominicans. We're just here to speak the truth. Hey, Angie. And I'm saying that some Catholic channels are turning this Gnostic gag team into a false god. Yeah. And Regime says they're responsible for overturning Roe versus Wade. Yeah, like I said, I don't believe that was a good thing. I think the country is worse now. I suppose there's some states, right, where they have tougher restrictions, but like I said, I think 7 to 10 years, all 50 states are going to have their constitution amended. The trajectory of society, I think, is to become more demonic over time. All right. I don't see anything in place at the moment to change hearts, because this is a heart issue, not a legal issue. So hearts are becoming colder towards life, and it is. I read 2 stories in the last 2 weeks about people just dropping babies, born babies, off of roofs of houses. One, this lady, I think she's here in Germany. I think maybe Frankfurt or Berlin. She's a CEO of Audi. She was afraid that her having a baby will cost her some advancements in her career. So she took the baby that she just had delivered and threw it out the window. Another story, I don't know where it was at, but a man had done something similar. Dropped the baby out of a hotel roof. If you look at the comments that were coming in after Donald Trump, after that coup d'etat assassination attempt, the dark things that people were saying, the things that were trending on Twitter, like, oh, you had one job to do. Don't miss next time. A lot of very dark comments. The world is trending towards becoming more anti-life. That's how it is. Technology plays a part in that. The less human interaction that we have, the more insulated we become. And that leads also to just, because if you don't understand life, if you don't have relationships with people, you don't begin to value them, you move in a direction of becoming more anti-life. Most of the content that you see on social media now, and really just digital media everywhere, art, most of it is AI generated. Even comments in comment boxes are AI generated. Most of the images that you see, AI generated. Very few images. Everything is artificial now. A lot of their essays, articles that you read at major newspapers and online at sporting sports websites, AI generated, full or partial. So as we're becoming less human, we're also becoming more anti-life. So because of that, yes, all the constitutions in the United States I think in our lifetime, I'm 52 pretty soon. I think by the time, I'm 62, I don't think there's going to be a state in the country that has a pro-life constitution. All right. And that's thanks to Roe versus Wade. And Regina also says Trump is also one of the only candidates who actually stands to try and preserve American culture and limit gender ideology being forced onto children. We'll see. We'll see. He talks that, right? I think that's an important issue, that people who vote for him, a lot of evangelical Christians, I think that's something that they're asking of him. And I think he's talking. We'll see. Eventually, that also will be just another domino that falls for the GOP. First, it was marriage, then abortion, next gender ideology. All right. It eventually goes away as well. John says, wow, David, you are more cynical than I am. You may need some help. John also says, fact, in my honest opinion, reality check, FYI, Biden is a monster. Yeah. Like I say, it's not hard to make a monster. I think the GOP has become a monster. I think Trump, Vance can become really potential monsters. Again, making monsters are very easy. Only thing you have to do is feed a monster and not hold them accountable. And these black liberal women, / Catholics, they're making monsters because they're not holding the GOP accountable. They're just feeding them votes. That's how you make a monster. Don't hold them accountable. If you want to change them, hold them accountable. That's it. All right, my friends, I'm out of here. Appreciate your time. And I'll just leave it there for you. And we'll see what happens. God bless you. See you next time. Remember, Jesus loves you and is there for you. And blessings and shalom to you and to yours. This is David O'Gray Show. Off code, unscripted on St. Dominic's Media. God bless.